Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In the Mixer, episode number 3 of our FC St Pauli series. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Thank you to everyone that watched the first 2 episodes. Of course, wherever in the world you're watching from, a happy Friday. We are on that Monday, Wednesday, Friday release schedule for the foreseeable future, and we'll at least be doing this series into January as well before we kick off our Pentagon Challenge. But so far, feedback's been really good. Thank you to everyone that watched. I appreciate it a tremendous amount. Thanks to everyone that liked, that commented, that hit us up over on Twitter as well with any questions that you might have had. As always, if you do comment, it's me responding to it, and I try and respond to it as soon as I get to them. There is a little bit of a tweak with time difference and stuff being down here in Australia, but it's always fantastic to see. And in today's episode, we've got more huge games, more big football to come. We've got a huge game in the division to try and consolidate a position that we're starting to hold, and we've also got the first Hamburg derby of the series against Hamburger SV or HSV or whatever one you refer to them as. They are the bigger club in the town, but if we can get bragging rights this season, I don't see any reason why we can't first take control of our city and then take control of Germany somewhere down the line. Let's jump straight in and see how we've gotten on. So, first and foremost, just above my head up here, you can see in 7th position, FC St Pauli. 11 games played, plus 2 goal difference, 18 points. If you look at the big one, we've had 5 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats in that period. 11 goals scored, not terrible. 9 goals conceded, does need improvement. No one's like super running away with the league. We're only 6 points behind top spot, which is fantastic to see, but their goal difference is ridiculous. They've only lost 1, VFL Bochum, and they've got 25 goals scored, which is absolutely, I think, incredible at this point. But what I am noticing is that everybody's like conceding a lot. There's no one that's like got 2 goals or 3 goals or 4 goals. There's a lot of teams sitting around that 7, 8, 9, 10 area in terms of goals conceded. So it might be that week to week, it's a relatively even league and it's a relatively level playing field for quite a few of the different sides. We have played a few games since yesterday's episode, or since Wednesday's episode, sorry, where of course we started our season and didn't start it particularly well, just the 1 point from the opening 2 games. We had a couple of defeats early on, but we have kind of steadied the ship a little bit. We followed up that 0-0 draw with Braunschweig with a 2-2 draw against Heidenheim, finally finding the back of the net, which helped us. Gibua and Dashner getting the goals there. Then our first win of the season, Dashner with a great strike against Greta Fürth. We beat Würzburger Kickers 2-1 in a good performance. Jan Regensburg absolutely spanked us 4-1. We had a lot of chances in this game, but just really couldn't convert, really couldn't find the ball. And you can see these ratings here, like the midfield all struggled, the front line struggled. Carbonell got a goal, so he gets a 7.0. Our best player on the pitch was Losas, the keeper, which kind of goes to show how well we played in that one. This Palacios guy, Federico, was absolutely phenomenal. So he might be one that we keep an eye on in future weeks and future months if we do go up a division. Then I had probably our best performance of the season against Karlsruhe, a 3-0 victory, a 0-0 draw against Hannover 96, which isn't that bad a result. They're a very good side. They have a very strong lineup and a lot of players earning a lot of money in that squad. I wouldn't be surprised if they go straight up next season. Then beat Sandhausen 1-0. We beat we lost to Holstein Kiel 1-0 in a frustrating game that I think we could have won had we had maybe a little bit more depth off the bench to try and bring on some new players. And then Erzgebirge Avenue, it's not Avenue, it's definitely not Avenue, take that out. We beat them 1-0 with Lucas Dashner getting a huge goal in the 86th minute. We had a variety of chances in this game as well, but just didn't put them away as effectively as we need to. We have made some tactical tweaks that have kind of helped us a little bit. We've now got 3 tactics, and it's basically the same instructions, but we've got a couple of different variants with different mentalities. So we're starting mostly of our home games in this positive structure, which is basically the same instructions that we went through in the previous episode. We've made Gibua a box-to-box midfielder instead of 2 Mazzalas. It seems to be working a little bit better in terms of our midfield balance. We've got Carbonell playing as a pressing forward, which is fine. He's not scoring a lot, so he might as well go up and try and drag defenders away from other people. That's what we're trying to do with him at the moment. We've then got our possession instruction, which I've dropped to be a cautious mentality from balance, and it's much shorter passing in that particular mentality, which means we just kind of try and keep the ball a little bit more. We're not as worried about going forward. This is to try and kill games off if we're in a winning position. And so far, it hasn't done too bad. We haven't switched to this and then immediately conceded at any point. So I think it's starting to work well, and you can see like our familiarity for a few of these tactics is really starting to hit that kind of top notch, which is perfect for us. And then, of course, we've got our attacking one. We were going to start on attacking pretty much every game when we went back to episode 1, but I think I'm starting to realize I don't know the game as well this time. So perhaps we need to start a little bit deeper and then eventually work our way towards playing with that attacking structure. We have over on the left wing as well made Dashner an advanced playmaker. We did that in yesterday's episode though, I think, or Wednesday's episode. And you can see he's chipped in with a couple of goals, which is handy for us as well. The big thing that we're missing is like a consistent scorer. You can see Carbonell's got 3, Dashner's got 3, Uriarte from midfield's got 2, a couple other midfielders chipping in with 1 here or there, and then nobody outside of that starting lineup has scored at all. So that's a big area that we do need to improve. We, of course, have January transfers arriving, which should be here next week. We've got Renier joining in the off-season. We've got Arezo joining up top in January. He'll be fantastic for us, and that should help us a little bit. We've got a little bit of cash as well if we need to. We can slide this wage budget around try and get some more transfer budget in there if we need to. But it's good. We've got flexibility heading into January, which I think is going to be absolutely huge for us. One of the other changes we've made is at the back, but it's just personnel. Bertrand Below has come into the defence in the last few weeks, and he's done really well, it must be said. 7 appearances now, 6.91 as an average rating. He seems to be fostering a good partnership with Bella Kotchap. I think it might just be that he's a little bit more comfortable in this ball-playing role than Williamson. His passing is 10, which isn't great, but it's, decent. It's fine for a player of his age. If you look at Williamson, his passing is also 10, but he's more of a no-nonsense centre-back and wants to play as a stopper. So I don't think he particularly settled into that role that we want him to do. It's a shame because he's earning a lot of cash, but he's only 17, so he's got plenty of time to still try and win back a spot and still try and get comfortable in that role that we're asking him to play. I am also flirting with the idea of maybe moving to like ball-playing defenders on stopper and cover. We will see how that goes, though. I don't really want to make that jump too early in the shape and in the system. We might give it a couple more rounds, and then if we're still struggling, if we're still conceding at a high rate, we might adjust that defensive partnership just a little bit. We could also potentially put the sweeps keeper up to support, so they come out a little bit more aggressively against that line. There's a few different things we can do, and we're just kind of working our way through now and trying to understand how the roles work in FM21 and how they work in the match engine itself as well. Now, one of the things that I hadn't done was set up set pieces and stuff, and I still haven't. I'm not going to put in any set piece routines just yet until I kind of identify an issue. But what we are going to do is set our takers, because our takers have been all over the shop and they've left us a little bit short a couple of times throughout the course of the game. Corner takers, we just go positionally. So Dion McGee will be the taker on the right-hand side because he's playing on the right wing. He's a left-footed player. We're using inverted wingers, so it's going to curl back towards the keeper, which I think is always the better way to take a corner. Dashner, of course, on the other side, we will get their backups. So Bamber will take them on the right-hand side. Lebongu and Bongu will take them on the left. If those guys aren't available, we'll try and get the midfielders to jump in. So Kepa Uriarte, he's a left-footed player, so he can take the right-sided ones. Gibua can take the left-sided one, being a right-footed player. They'll come back towards goal. Gives us good balance on both sides. Free kicks, we'll just set the best takers to take them. So left side can be Dion McGee. Patrick Finger can jump in there as well. Lucas Dashner, he can also take them a little bit, not particularly well. And then we might also throw Finn Becker on there just for sanity's sake. Throw-ins, we just want to make sure they're taken positionally. So our right backs are going to take our right-sided throw-ins. Our left backs are going to take the left-sided throw-ins. We'll get both the backup players on there as well. Volker for the left-hand side, Vikov for the right-hand side. And that's perfect. That gives us good balance. As far as penalties are concerned, Louis Carbonell is the current penalty taker. He's not bad at them, to be fair, and Dashner is the second. That's not terrible. We'll get Dion McGee and we'll get Finn Becker on there as well. And we'll allow players who've scored 2 goals to take a penalty, because I always think that's fun to try and see them get their hat-trick. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll just try and do them by position rather than who's the best taker, because I'd rather, until we get to like an elite level and we have like elite level set piece takers, not worry too much about anything other than our defensive shape. I wouldn't want us to get caught out of position because our left back's our best penalty taker and he's gone up to take a corner, and then they counter-attack down that right-hand side. That's the part that kind of always worries me a little bit more. You can see player progression here as well while we're on this screen. Amel Bella Kotchap is having probably the best season of anyone so far. 7.26 is an average rating, very impressive. Lucas Dashner also improving quite a bit. There's a couple other players that I think are doing well. Uriarte's jumped up half a star, which is fantastic to see. A few of these other guys want to try and get them by the end of the season up to, 3 stars. That would be absolutely perfect as far as their development is concerned. And for guys like Dion McGee, Maury Bamber, they're playing for their place. We know Renier's coming in. We know for Carbonell, we've got Arezzo, who's going to be joining in January. We really want to see him trying to push to get a starting position. But otherwise, the squad is still pretty much all under the age of 21, so we aren't doing too badly. We're building again for the future, which is perfect and exactly what we want to be doing. Playing Nuremberg, of course, today. They currently sit in 11th spot in the division. Not that far behind us, though, only 5 points, so I don't expect there to be a massive gulf between 7th and 11th position. We've gotten a couple of suggestions here. They want us to switch from positive to very defensive. And you know what? I kind of agree with them on that one. We're away from home, so let's go with this possession-based mentality to start with. Let's keep the ball. Let's work them around a little bit, drop the intensity, and then we might move to attacking or move to positive if that's not working out for us in the second half. That's one of the things I'm trying to do a bit better. I'm trying to have like an away tactic and a home tactic. I think that's more important in this year's version of the game than in previous years. Otherwise, though, it's a pretty straightforward lineup. Losas in goal, Bella Kotchap and Ballo is the defensive partnership, Rodriguez at left wing back, Gundeland at right wing back, Becker Alanka midfield, Gibua and Uriarte ahead of him, Dashner on the left wing as the advanced playmaker, McGee on the right wing as the inverted winger, and Carbonell the pressing forward up top. You know what? Let's give Carbonell another chance at advance forward. Let's see how he goes. Does give us this red gap here, but screw it. We'll just figure out what happens and see if he running off the shoulder is a little bit better and a little bit closer to goal in terms of some of his finishing and some of the chances that we'll create. Team sheets here I still don't love, but they do give us team news. Manuel Schaefer onto his weaker side. Fantastic. I like that as an adjustment, that it comes up in real time. We're going to say passionately, we're the huge underdogs here. That suits us down to the ground. A couple of players respond as motivated, which is perfect. We now go into the team lineups, and I know this displays here, but I wish it displayed in an area where it stopped and we could skip past it. The fact that it just disappears after a while drives me nuts, because I can't talk about their team other than the fact that it's a 4-4-2. I can't click on their players and see who's performing well, that we don't have that assist marker, that goal scoring marker, any of that stuff anymore, which is frustrating. 7th spot, not too bad for us. We want to finish in the top 9 positions. Dropping it below 9th at any point, that does cause us some issues as far as the board's concerned. But top half finish, I think, is realistic for us. I think we are better than some of the worst sides in the division, even though we are relatively young. And as the game kicks off, we just want to try and get 3 points. That would be absolutely perfect for us. We had a win last time out. If we can get 3 points heading into the derby, it will be perfect. But they've got a long ball forward here, and Bakayoko has taken the ball in front of Bella-Kotchap. He's been forced wide. We've just got to stand him up. He cuts it back to Schaeffler, and I think Schaeffler was the guy that they spoke us about, or that Roy Keane suggested we show on his left foot. Doesn't matter what foot you show him onto if he's going to head home chances like that. That's poor from Bella-Kotchap, it must be said. You might have heard me praising him in the build-up, saying that he's been one of our better players this season. Bakayoko, good ball back in. Schaeffler puts it back across the keeper. Should we do better there? It's just a long ball forward. It's basically a clearance that they've managed to get a hold of. They are leaving 2 up top. We might have to be wary of that in terms of how far forward we come. Rodriguez throwing here, finds Dashner. First real highlight in possession. Carbonell plays it well out to Rodriguez, who's excellent in the possession, it must be said. Just I've said that, curse the commentator. He loses out to Valentini. Masijan, their right winger, back to Valentini. Valentini, no interest in getting forward, immediately runs back to his defensive position. So their fullbacks are relatively defensive. We might have to push our wingers up onto them. Great ball in behind there for Bakayoko, and Rodriguez with an excellent saving tackle. And then Bella-Kotchap follows it up to put it out for the throw-in. I don't think this mentality's working, but we'll give it maybe another 15 minutes. Geist with the ball in, and thankfully it's a poor corner. Let's make that adjustment, actually. Let's go to positive. Let's just play a little bit more aggressively, a little bit higher up the pitch. Let's see how everybody responds. There's a couple of highlights in a row there for Nuremberg. Got a throw in here on the right, Gundogan to take. McGee cuts it back towards Becker at the base of midfield. Gibua, good switch out towards Rodriguez. Can he get a good ball in the box? Cut back to Dashner. Can get it on his right foot. Can he work a strike? No, he goes backwards. Becker, Rodriguez again, gets to the byline, cuts it back to Dashner. He's hit the post, and then somehow it manages to scramble its way out. Could have gone anywhere. Nice little work play there, I guess. We used that same triangle 2 or 3 times before they actually fixed their rotation. It's a highlight here again. So we are creating a fair bit in this game, or we're letting them have a lot of chances as well. Well, one back by Dashner in midfield. Played across to Becker. Looking for the overlap on the right there, but goes to Dashner instead, who immediately looks to cut back inside as the advanced playmaker. Ball over wide right to McGee. Drags 2 defenders. Cuts it back to Uriarte. Gibua. Becker. Switch out to Rodriguez. Can he get around the man? Fullback stays with him. Gibua. Good reverse pass there to Rodriguez. Backstick ball there for McGee, but he takes too long. Cuts it back to Gibua, who goes for the strike from the edge of the area. And it's a good save from Mathania in the Nuremberg goal. Dashner to date the corners. We just set him on corners. What can he do from the delivery? It's not the best effort, and the keeper comes out and claims with authority. In other matches, Wurzburger Kickers have taken a lead in their game, so they would jump above us as things currently stand, given that we are losing. Bakayoko's a danger. We'll tell Bella-Kotchap to mark him a little bit more tightly, and we're also going to use a shout. We're going to demand more with about 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Losas with a long ball forward towards McGee. Gundogan's going to get the chance to keep it in here. Back to Balla. Now Becker all the way back to Losas. We go back to where we started. Wait for the press to come. He does, and then plays it out to Gundogan. Across to Gibua. Now Carbonell in a different role this game. Brings Dashner into it well. Good overlapping run here again from Rodriguez, who's been very busy down this left-hand side. Becker, switch out towards Gundogan on the right. What can he do getting forward? Cut back to McGee, back to Gundogan again, just making the defence work. Good ball in, and Carbonell with the header. No, it's not, it's Gibua, actually. Carbonell was right there with him, but the midfielder's chipped in. That box-to-box role seems to be suiting him quite a bit better. His second goal of the season, and a fantastic equaliser for us at the end of the first half. They're telling us that we need to close down Bakayoko. I thought we already said that we were going to do that, but that's okay. Good ball in there. Gibua backstick header. Keeper does get a hand on it, but it's got enough power on it that it keeps carrying it into the back of the net. And we get our equaliser just before half-time, which is perfect for us. And there's another highlight here in the second minute of extra time at the end of the first half. Ball with Becker. Good overlapping run here from Rodriguez. Can he find a good ball back in? Towards backstick. McGee was there. First time shot. Gets closed down. Cut back here to Gunderland, and then that's the end of the highlight. And as we get to half-time, 1-1 isn't too bad. Nuremberg, 3 shots, 2 on target, 46% possession. I nearly said 91%. That's not right. 7 shots, 3 on target, 54% for us. I think we've definitely gotten better since we switched that positive structure. XG still has them ahead, which is interesting. We didn't see that many highlights for them. I'm going to pump my fist. I'm going to say there's a great opportunity to show the pundits every right to back you up, and everyone seems motivated, which is absolutely perfect. That'll do the job for us. I'm slowly figuring out those gestures. It's just a different way of selecting, like aggressive or passionate or whatever else from the previous weeks. Set piece here. It's pinballing around. Gunderland gets it away. Thankfully, we do scramble that one clear. We're flying towards the hour mark as well, and they've got to throw in on the right. We'll let this play out before we make the change. Kreas with the ball towards back stick, flick on header. Losas does well, saves and holds. Is that the end of the highlight? Will we make our subs? Long ball forward. Oh, good win there from Uriarte in midfield. He needs support to get around him. McGee's just taking a little bit too long to find that overlapping run, as is the fullback. Cuts it back to McGee now. Back to Gunderland. Now Becker can switch it side to side if he needs to. Looks wide out to Rodriguez, who's been absolutely immense this game, it must be said. Cut back there to Dashner. Ball across towards Carbonell, and oh, that was his chance. That was the Spaniard's chance. If he was going to find the back of the net, you feel it would have been that opportunity, but it hasn't worked out for him. Finbecker's on a yellow card. We should consider replacing him. I've hit pause, by the way. Tactics and subs. Let's go attacking. Let's go after it. Let's try and get this win. Let's see what we can do. Uriarte not playing particularly well. We've also got Bella Kotchap, who's struggling a little bit for conditioning. We'll go with Uriarte. He can come off. We'll bring on Afiz Aremu as the Messiah, and then we might make the other sub based on conditioning. So McGee's not played particularly well. We'll bring on Lebongu Mbongu. It's not his preferred role, so we might switch him to be a winger on support, get a little bit more width to his game. I have faith in you. Neither of them care. That's fine. I don't think I've had any of my substitute talks do anything at all in any of these matches. Finbeck is 1 yellow card away from a suspension. We should consider subbing him off. Afiz Aremu. I'm going to ignore that one. We're going to trust Finn Becker to get through the game without getting a yellow card. Of course, if he does get a yellow card, he'll be out of the derby, which will be a massive shame. We're going to use a demand more shout as well. It's the only shout that I can consistently get good responses from. I hate the touchline tablet, by the way. The previous interface was much better in terms of like the timeline and looking at games and all that sort of stuff. We're flying through to the 80th minute, but we have got a highlight here. We'll let this play out, and then we're going to make adjustments. We've got one last sub that we can make. Ball forced to Becker at the edge of the area. Over to Rodriguez again. Cut back to Gabua. Pinballs around in the box a little bit. Becker back to Rodriguez. Can't get a ball in towards back stick. It's cleared away. Becker will get the chance to reset. Gabua, Carbonell, reverse pass to Dashner. Bit of work to do. Plays it out wide to Rodriguez. Tries to get the ball in. Carbonell was in there. It's come the way of Nuremberg, and here they come flying forward. It's 3v2 very quickly. Balor's gotten his shape all wrong. Excellent save there from Losas. He's kept us in it there. We're going to hit pause. We've got one more sub that we can make. And let's just go on rating. The same Balor hasn't played particularly well. We need someone to try and find a goal. That's what we need. Carbonell's not played well, so we'll bring in Akame. What are we going to put him as? He can stay as a pressing forward. That's fine. Tell him I've got faith in him. He doesn't care. Nobody ever cares. And then we've also got one more shout, so we're going to hit demand more. And I think we're into injury time now. 4 minutes to be added on. Please, are there any late highlights, game? It doesn't look like they're going to give us anything in it. It's a 1-1 draw in the end, which isn't the worst result, but I feel maybe we could have done a bit better. In the end, Nuremberg actually took most of the stats. 13 shots, 6 on target, 1.16 XG. Not that that means a damn thing. 49% possession. For us, 8 shots, 4 on target, 51% of the ball. We did finish higher on the XG total, so I'm not sure. I can't figure out XG. XG's stupid. Like, I should get rid of this. This was not an addition that anyone needed to the game, if you're going to ask me honestly, but whatever, that's fine. Everybody thought we'd get beaten today. Well done in proving them wrong, and everyone seems inspired and motivated. That's good. I don't know if we want to be the type of club that celebrates draws, but, you know, if it's a good result and a good performance, then we might as well give everyone a bit of praise. Gipua on form. He gets the Man of the Match award. We'll give him a bit of praise. He was superb in front of goal last time out, and he's very happy, which is fantastic to see for the young Italian. We are going to give everyone that just started that game, I think, a day off. I just want to try and get everyone's condition back up to 100%, or the full heart, the green heart, I guess, before we get into that game against Hamburger SV. They are, of course, lower than us in the table, down in 14th position, but we just lost to 11th, so not that big a gap in quality to some of the teams in and around the division. Magic of editing, though. We're going to jump forward to the game against Hamburger now. All right, jumping forward a couple of days. We have gotten through most of the week without picking up too many injuries. Thankfully, everyone's condition is back up. I'm not sure if the rest helped with that or if they would have made it anyway. I'll figure that out over the next few weeks. Carbonell still not playing particularly well. 6.56 in average rating for the season. 6.44 now over the course of the week. I didn't think he was that bad last game, to be completely fair. I thought, he had a good little couple of link-up play pieces. He might just be a little bit too young to be playing one out up top, but most of his stats are improving still, so I don't know how I feel about him at the moment. Weirdly, Victor Weber played in an under-23s game, an under-19s game, I think it is, earlier today. I'm not sure why I did that. Hinsman, a backup goalkeeper, will jump on the bench just so that we've got that coverage there. Otherwise, it is pretty much a full-strength squad. Maury Bamba still working his way back into fitness. It would have been good to have him. But otherwise, I think we're in a good position. So we're going to jump into the match. Opposition instructions are already set. They've got a lot of strong players. I really wish we still had that ability to go through their squad because some of their players are absolutely fantastic. They're on another level to ours. And we'll talk about maybe through a couple of them here. It's not linked, so I can't click on them, but I'm pretty sure their back four is all like the best back four in the division as far as the season preview is concerned. Bakari Jatta should be playing at a higher division. Konsombi should be playing at a higher division. Even on the bench, they've got guys like Dudziak and Wagnerman. Wagnerman's on our shortlist because I'd love to bring him across as a fantastic right wing back option, but they're not even playing him, which is crazy. But it's a derby. If we can't get ourselves ready to go for a derby, there's no hope for us. Passionately, we're going to say, great opportunity to show the pundits everyone right to back you up, and everyone seems motivated, which is absolutely superb for us. We're, of course, playing our 4-3-3 shape, unchanged from the previous week. They are going to come up here in a moment, and they will be playing, I think, a 4-2-3-1. No, it's a 4-1-4-1, which I've seen a few different people around Football Manager community use in and around Twitter. Seems to be doing all right in this year's match engine, so we'll see how they go. It could be an interesting one. We have also switched to our positive structure. I'm not sure if I mentioned that because we are the home side in this tie, and I think we did play perhaps our best spell of football in the previous game under that positive structure as well. The Fingers picked up, not the Finger. Juan Rodriguez has picked up a bit of a knock, which we're going to have to keep an eye on. He hasn't played particularly well the opening few minutes either. Might be an early sub that we have to make, and we're already through 30 minutes. So we're going to hit demand more with a few minutes remaining in the half, and we have got to throw in here on the left. Rodriguez to take. It's cleared away. Uriarte back to Gabua. Uriarte, good overlapping ball there to Rodriguez. Tries to get a ball across. Carbonell with the header, and Ulrich was scrambling, but just over the crossbar. We might need to finish a bit more of those chances. It'll be interesting to see how Arezzo goes, if he makes the most of more opportunities than perhaps what we see. But we haven't seen much from Hamburger in this first half either, so pretty level. So far, best player on the pitch, Finn Becker. Juan Rodriguez has an injury and apparently needs to come off. So Sasha Volker or the Finger. So Volker's at 1.5 stars. I think the Finger can go to 2. So we'll bring on the Finger. He can try and sort us out here. Carbonell again, not playing particularly effectively. Dasher not having a good game. McGee struggling to get involved. Uriarte struggling to get involved. So we're not playing particularly well. We'll tell him we've got faith in him. And again, I've never had a sub respond positively to anything I've done. But at half-time, we've had 2 shots, none on target, 56% possession. HSV, 5 shots around target, 44%, but no highlights that we've seen from them. They are ahead in the XG states, but it's a pretty boring game, to be fair. 0.15 to 0.20. I'm going to thrash arms and say great opportunity again, and most have seemed motivated. Bella Kochap demotivated, that's not great. Would see us say 7th as things currently stand. They've suggested Onana get close down a little bit more aggressively. We are through the hour mark as well, so we're going to hit pause. We're going to switch to our attacking structure. We're going to go after it. If we're going down, we are going down absolutely swinging for the fences. So Carbonell's not played particularly well. A car maker come on for him. Losas, they're saying, he's not played well. He hasn't done anything, so I'm not sure how that works. And McGee has again struggled. So we'll bring on Lebongu Mbongu. Pressure's off, and again, nothing's working for any of the substitute appearances at the moment. If you are having success with substitute talks, let me know what you're doing, because I do need to learn. We're going to hit demand more as well, 30 minutes remaining. Hopefully we can't create some opportunities before this match is over. I have the strangest feeling that HSV are going to get one highlight for the match, and it's going to be them scoring in the 90th minute. Just the game has that feel about it. But if we can get a winner, we could potentially jump over quite a few different teams in the table. We're through 86 minutes, so we're going to hit pause. I think we've got one more sub. Saying Dashner hasn't played particularly well. I haven't really got a change that I can make there. Finger has struggled. Gundogan struggled. Bring on Vikov just for him. Make a difference. And I got one more sub up my sleeve. Demand more for the last couple of minutes. 3 additional minutes to be added on at the end of time. And there's a throw in here on the right-hand side. Vikov to take to Lebongu Mbongu. Back to Vikov. Can the fresh sub get an assist? Wide right area, cuts it back to Lebongu. Good backstick ball towards Dashner, who rifles it home. That could be an absolutely huge goal in terms of the season itself. And he pulls out the little cartwheel or whatever. I haven't got enough space in here to do a cartwheel myself, and I'd go out of frame, so you guys wouldn't even see it anyway. But wonderful work here from the sub, Vikov. does well to find Mbongu, the other sub, and it's a good ball across towards backstick, and Dashner just peels off the shoulder and rifles that one back across the goalkeeper. 93rd minute, pretty much the last kick of the game, I would think. I didn't see how much time was added on. We're through an additional minute now, and that is a huge victory for us, and we take bragging rights in the first Hamburg derby of the season. Dashner rightly gets 7.7 and the man of the match award. Again, our back central defensive partners and Becca all played particularly well, which is good to see them starting to get some stability. Outstretched arms, I'm going to say, well done, lads. That was a good win for us, and a lot of them seem inspired and motivated. Absolutely perfect. We've finally gotten one right. Does see us jump up into 5th spot as well, which is huge. 22 points. We're still 8 points off Bochum in the top spot, but we're only 3 points off that 2nd place automatic promotion spot, and there's that 3rd place playoff position we could potentially go for as well. I don't think we're playing good football at the moment either, which is good to see. So we are, even though not playing our best, we've not smashed any teams, we've not had games where we've created 1,000 chances, we are still staying in and around the mix as far as the top half of the table is concerned. And again, our pass mark for the year is just to finish in the top half, and so far we're doing quite well with that. Rodriguez got a bruised shin. That's not going to keep him out too long, thankfully, and we've got a full week before the away game at Dusseldorf, which is huge for us. Looking at our schedule, though, we are probably going to jump forward just a little bit. I'm thinking maybe we make the episode, which will come out on Monday, like a transfer special almost. We might play the game against Greta Firth and then the Würzburger Kickers game. I think that might be a good spot to come back, and then that sets us up to maybe next week do the Nuremberg and Hamburger games, or the Hamburger and Dusseldorf games, and then finish off the season, do a bit of a season review towards the end of next week as well. It does mean we will jump forward probably about 6 or 7 games, which, you know, in the new format, in the new way we're going to release videos, we will see a bit more of a gap between matches, between episodes, but we're unbeaten in our last 3. We've won 3 of our last 5, which is probably the best run that we've been on, I think, at any point throughout the course of the series. So we are starting to get a handle on this football thing. We are starting to play at a decent rate as well. And then hopefully on Monday, that helps you guys see Arezo. He'll be a new signing if we bring anyone else in the January window. If we leave it late or if we do it at the start, you guys will get to see them and get to know them in that episode, which I think will be absolutely fantastic for us. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part that I appreciate the most. If you want to support the series, support the channel that little bit more, you can drop a like on this video. Helps it get higher in YouTube search results when people look for Football Manager content. You can also subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on videos all throughout the course of the year. We'll be running this series up until January. We'll switch over to doing our long-term Pentagon Challenge save at that point. We'll also have different one-season wonder saves, just as we did in FM20 throughout the course of the year. If you've got teams that you want to see us do one season with to get to know them and understand how they work in Football Manager, by all means, drop that down in the comment section below as well. So much of the content on this channel is going to be driven by what you guys want to see. But more than anything, I just appreciate you watching. That's the part that means the most to me. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.